Hello, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking you on a very informative video tour of this really nice and clean, almost perfect 2017 Toyota hybrid Rav4. Like the Prius hybrid, everybody knows what that is. This is like the Prius, but it's an SUV. So it's a Toyota hybrid Rav4. It's very clean. I know the owner of it because I sold this car to him with only 9,000 miles, and now it has 90,000 miles on it. So they drove it about 81,000 miles, more or less. First of all, this is a hybrid. Maybe you've seen the new Rav4 Prime 2022, 2023. Those are selling for like $60,000 plus tax for the new ones, the Rav4 Prime. On the newest Prime, you can plug them in and charge them to gain the maximum benefit. This one does not have to plug in. There's only putting gas in the car, but it's a hybrid, and it's not first generation Toyota hybrid either. Maybe you've seen the older Highlander hybrids. Those have been around for a long time. But Toyota came out with the Rav4 Prime. It's a really nice hybrid. It gets really good gas mileage compared with the gasoline version. And the reason it does is the vehicle is ready to drive mode now, but the engine is off. So when you're driving around in a hybrid, the engine turns off in traffic. It turns off when you're coming down a hill. About 40% of the time you're driving, the engine is off, up to about 60% depending on how you drive. But this has a battery pack, and this is in California, and it's like, well, is the battery expensive? Here's the thing, there is factory warranty from Toyota up to 10 years or 150,000 miles on Toyota hybrid battery packs, and up to 15 years or 150,000 miles on the emission control system. So if your vehicle fails a smog, check engine light, or whatever, those can be covered by warranty from Toyota. It's a state law in California. So we believe this has a 10-year 100,000 mile warranty on the hybrid battery, and historically what I've seen with Toyota hybrids, they'll last 300,000 miles or 14 to 20 years before you have to change the battery. And if you do, you can get it from a wrecking yard. You don't have, or a rebuilder, you can get a rebuilt battery. You don't have to go buy a brand new one. So that's way down the road, maybe 100,000 miles from now. So this is probably at its 1/3 of its life expectancy, or if you're a maniac and you buy this, 50%. It's good for another 100 or 200,000 miles of good ownership. Now, there's a lot of things about this that are special. This is the XLE Premium all-wheel drive I. So this is 4-wheel drive. It's a hybrid, and it has the advanced technology package associated with the XLE package, and this has full genuine leather interior. Now, when I had this at 9,000 miles, I had a custom leather interior installed. The leather seats look just like the cloth seats, except they're really nice, high quality leather provided by this company here, Catskin. That company's been around a long time, and they do leather interiors. And it was installed by their authorized dealer, so the leather was under warranty. And it's a really nice setup. It's got the lighter color body area. It's got perforations on the side bolsters for ventilation, and it's really nice setup. It's not cloth interior. If you look at a lot of Rav4s that are XLE model, you'll find them with cloth interior, but this is not cloth. Before that, when I bought it with 9,000 miles, I bought it from Toyota. It was a Toyota company car. That means before the 9,000 miles, Toyota never sold this to any private individual or company. They took it and registered it to Toyota. They used it for media demonstrator and other purposes. So this is an all-wheel drive. That means if you go up in the snow, you may not have to put tire chains on. Or if you live where it snows every year, this is a much safer to drive vehicle because you're less likely to get stuck in ice and snow. You have the all-wheel drive to charge through adverse conditions. It's a very clean car. 90,000 miles on it. Tinted privacy glass windows. Has navigation with live traffic. Those little green stripes next to the freeways, that means the traffic's not so bad. You can look at the map and see how the traffic is right there on display. Up on the windshield, this is a 2017, so this is the first year of Toyota's Safety Sense smart technology, but it's a second generation or third generation of their adaptive cruise control. This has the smart adaptive cruise control feature. So there's a little radar sensor in the logo on the hood, and there's an optical camera, and the camera uses a comparison method to decide how close the vehicles are in front of you when you're driving. So you can drive on the open road and set the cruise control for 75 or 85 miles an hour, and then the car itself will automatically slow down when vehicles are in front of you. And it has pre-collision avoidance, that if you're closing in too fast on another vehicle, it can actually automatically apply the brakes. And when you're on cruise control, it will do that as needed. In an emergency situation, it could potentially apply the brakes to avoid or reduce the forces in a collision. It could possibly be enough to help you avoid the collision altogether, because it'll start beeping at you if the system thinks you're getting too close too fast, and that might get your attention enough that you are able to be the good driver and avoid it in the first place. Now, since we sold it to the nice lady who's a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines, she took good care of it. It looks almost perfect. It's very clean. This one has, and we're going to include a window sticker from Toyota, the front parking sonar sensors and the rear parking sonar sensors, so she never bumped into anything. As you get close to an object, it goes beep, 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 faster and faster until you get too close and bump into something. She put on a trailer hitch. She says she never towed anything with it. It looks like there was never a receiver in it. It feels like nothing's ever slid in here. So I believe that she's probably telling the truth, that she never towed with it. But she may have put a bike rack to go to the beach, so you could tow her bike rack, bring bicycles with her to go ride them on the beach, things like that. All four tires match. They're all Michelin tires. They have respectable amounts of tread remaining. They're not brand new, but they probably have about 50% remaining usable tread. It's a very clean vehicle. Let's look more at the inside. The back seats recline, so your kids or whoever's riding in the back can get comfortable on long trips. And they fold flat, so they recline or fold flat. So you can go to the furniture store and bring home big stuff, because it is an SUV. All the upholstery, it looks almost perfect, and it does have these weather-proof floor mat set. This is a genuine Toyota floor mat set for the RAV4, kind of like a WeatherTech floor mat, but this is a genuine Toyota all-weather floor mat set. We have 2 keys for this. and I know more history about it than your average used car because I've owned this twice. Now we're selling it. Also important to note, the registration is current until June 2023. That might save you several $100s, up to even more than $1,000. You have to be careful when you buy used cars in California, because if the registration is already expired, you, the buyer, are responsible to pay it current, and that could add quite a bit of money, up to thousands of dollars, to the cost of the registration. But not in this case because it's current, so you may only pay a $15 or $25 transfer fee. We have to punch it in the DMV system and see what it says, plus tax, of course, if you're buying it for use in California. We do deliver. We can deliver this car anywhere nationwide. We can put it on a truck and ship it to you. If you're up in Montana, we can ship this car to you. If you're in New York, we can put it up on a truck and ship it to you. Shipping prices are a little bit high because diesel fuel is expensive, but this is not that big of a vehicle, so it's not that hard to ship it anywhere in the country. So driving the hybrid, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the engine is off 40 to 60% of the time. When you stomp on the gas pedal, the engine and the electric motors accelerate you up to your desired speed. Once you're moving, you can turn on the smart cruise control and let go of the pedals, and the automatic braking will slow you down as appropriate. So right now it's slowing down because the vehicles in front are slowing down. The little indicator shows that we're slowing down. You see the vehicle's hitting the brakes and we're slowing down to lower than the set speed on the cruise control. I'm not touching the gas. I'm not touching the brake. The car's coming to a stop by itself because the traffic is slowed down, and then to a certain point it beeps and says you have the controls. It doesn't actually say that, it just beeps and then you have the controls. You have Bluetooth, smartphone connectivity. So it's a very nice driving vehicle. We're going to pull into a neighborhood here, and we're going to put it in reverse so you can see the backup camera. But it also has parking sensors, and if you really want to know what it has, check out the window sticker. But this does have the leather interior. That's your backup camera. If you turn the wheel, the guidelines move. The steering wheel is wrapped with leather from the factory, and it's a thick wrap. Some of the newer Toyotas, they use really thin material, but this is a nice thick leather wrapping on the steering wheel, and everything looks like it would be in really good condition. Now I accept phone calls between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Go to my website first, mybestcar.com. See if the vehicle is still available. If it is, and you're going to write us a check, your check is paid to the order of, the company name is A Buyer's Choice. A Buyer's Choice is the company name, and mybestcar.com is the website. Also, if you're watching this video, watch it on your big living room TV. Go to my YouTube channel on your big TV, open the YouTube app and search for mybestcar.com. Without the dot, just search for mybestcar.com on YouTube. Now, I say this is almost perfect. Here's the one thing, right? The media or whoever was driving this car scratched it when it had less than 9,000 miles in this area while it was owned by Toyota. Because Toyota doesn't like to get sued and lose, they disclosed this. This is unibody. This is unibody structure. We think they just like scraped the post at a gas station or an ATM, put a little yellow mark here. This was fixed, but because of the area, Carfax says this was sold with an announcement of structural damage. Now that doesn't mean that it has structural damage, that means it has an announcement in the Carfax that says it could be structural damage. But just so you know, it was a very minor scrape. This panel is original. It was not replaced. It's the original panel. And how do you know? You go look at the welds in the body, and if it's the original panel, they look a certain way, and if it was replaced, they look very different, like it was welded by hand. But because Toyota makes these cars using robots, it looks a certain way. And another way how you can tell if a quarter panel, this is called a quarter panel, was replaced, is you peel back the rubber here and you look at these welds here, and these are machine welded. That means this is the original sheet metal for the car, and if you knock on it, it's all original. Just a light scratch. If this was a pickup truck, there would be no announcement, but because there's a unibody structure, they have to announce that kind of thing. Because Toyota doesn't want you to turn around and say they sold their car and they did not disclose damage in a structural area. Doesn't mean it has structural damage. It means it had repaired damage in a structural area of the vehicle. So thank you for watching my video. My number is 951-681-2101. Again, accepting calls between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. California time. Thank you for watching.